Who was Genghis Khan and why should you care? Well, you might have heard of him, but do you know that he is the most successful military commander in history? His armies were the largest ever assembled up until that time and covered more ground than any other force before or since. And while it's believed that his armies killed around 40 million people, 11% of the world's population at the time, he himself may not have even been able to read. Let me explain. Genghis Khan was born around 1162 in what is now known as Mongolia. He was born into a tribe that was constantly fighting with their neighbors for land and resources. When he was 9, his father was poisoned by rival raiders and his family was left destitute. In fact, they were so poor that they had to live in a cave and rely on the generosity of others just to survive. Young Genghis was forced to live a life of a warrior. By age 16, he had already killed 2 men in self-defense. But he soon became known as a thief, too, pillaging on caravans passing through his territory. It was during one such raid that he met a man named Jamuka, who would become his friend and ally. The two would lead raids together until Jamuka turned on Genghis and captured his wife after a battle in 1190. Genghis was forced to escape alone, which led to a prophecy from an old man that inspired him to unite all the tribes under his banner and avenge his honor. And so he did. Through a combination of diplomacy, brute force, and strategic marriages, Genghis united many of the nomadic tribes of the Mongolian steppe into one great nation. And in 1206, he was proclaimed the first great Khan of the Mongol Empire. Under his leadership, the Mongols developed a sophisticated military apparatus, complete with accounting rules, a postal system, and an elite guard force. He also introduced gunpowder to his army, which gave them a significant advantage over their enemies. And though often overlooked, it was Genghis Khan who initiated the first contact between Europe and the Far East. Under his rule, his empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe, making it the largest contiguous land empire in history. But he didn't stop there. Genghis Khan was obsessed with knowledge and learning. Despite being largely illiterate himself, he invited scholars from across his empire to share their knowledge and wrote down many of their works. He also established libraries and encouraged the translation of books into Mongolian. It was through these efforts that many scientific and mathematical texts from Greece and India found their way into the hands of European scholars, sparking what would later be called the Renaissance. While he is remembered as a brutal conqueror, only a small portion of his empire was destroyed during his lifetime, and many of the cities he conquered were spared if they surrendered without a fight. He was also tolerant of different religions, even going so far as to appoint a Muslim as his treasurer. However, he had a dark side. He was known for his sadistic sense of humor, like when he had people put to death for laughing too loudly or thrown into volcanoes for his amusement. Historians believe he suffered from sociopathic tendencies and may have even had a borderline evil side. In 1227, he died of injuries sustained from a fall while likely intoxicated. He had planned to continue his conquests into Western Europe and the Middle East, but never got the chance. Despite his short stature and lack of formal education, Genghis Khan managed to unite warring tribes, build a vast empire, and change the course of history. So next time you hear someone say that they could take Genghis Khan in a one-on-one fight, just laugh and walk away. Unless, of course, you want to get on his bad side. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe and join our community. There are some great people there. Also, if you want to watch more videos about amazing historical figures, check out the series in the description below. Until next time.